Start the agenda portion of the meeting at this time. We have ordinances on second reading. Number one, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 10, 16, 210, Schedule 38, time limit parking areas regards to Stamp Street. 2, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.16, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 10, 16, 030. Schedule 26, no parking certain hours, alternate parking street cleaning program in regards to Hardenberg Street, High Street, and Division Street. We'll have discussions or ordinances for first reading. Number one, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapters 10.20, Handicap Parking Section, 10.20.10. Schedule 39, parking zones for handicapped persons will add 145 Troop Avenue, 307 Howard Street, and 45 Juliet Street.
Mr. Anderson, I'm requesting that vote for the poll, my request, and give a little more time to work on that.
Sure, no problem. Number 3 will be an ordinance to adjust the rates of compensation for school crossing guards in the City of New Brunswick. 4, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.12, Traffic Control Regulations, 10.12160, Schedule 18, right turn on red light prohibited in regards to Sanford Street. 5 is to amend the management salary ordinance 2018 to 2020. We have resolutions. Number 1, approve agenda amendments. 2, approve payroll. 3, authorize refund for redeemed tax sale certificates. 4, authorize purchase by Police Department on New Jersey State Contract A89-980M0483, an SPO. Value Point Computer from Wireless Electronics Incorporated, doing business as Wireless Communications and Electronics, for radio accessories not to exceed $6,757.20. Number 5, approve award of contract with WTH Technology Incorporated for proprietary user licenses for the Police Department not to exceed $1,623. Number 6, approve resolution authorizing the City of New Brunswick to enter into an electric distribution company aggregation agreement with Public Service Electric and Gas Company in connection with the City Energy Aggregation Program. Number 7, approve request for street closing and use of city property requested by the Veterans Alliance of Robert Valley Incorporated. Location Albany Street, George Street, Livingston Avenue, and Monument Square Park, from Highland Park in New Brunswick. Park location is Monument Square Park, for a parade to honor the veterans who served in the United States Armed Forces, Sunday, November 11, 2018. Street closure is 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Mr. Anderson, with respect to 8, we're requesting that you pull that one as unnecessary at this point.
Terrific. Number 9, approve request for the use of city property requested by the Garden of Healing Yoga and Wellness Center for annual parking day to create a temporary public space parklet green space. 1 parking spot in front of 78 Byard Street. Friday, September 21st, 2018, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Number 10, approve request for use of city property requested by Rabbi Bashish Ramon Yeshiva for a 5K racing carnival, Buglow Park Pavilion and Track, Saturday, November 3rd, 2018, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. 11, approve request for street closing requested by Tabernacle Baptist Church. Location Tabernacle Way, George Street to Nielsen Street, for church flea market, Saturday, October 6, 2018, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Police extra duty. Number 12, approve request for street closing requested by Our Lady of Mount Carmel Roman Catholic Church, beginning at 75 Morris Street to George Street, Livingston Avenue, Welton Street, Joyce Dimmer Avenue, Townsend Street, Livingston Avenue to church parking lot. Religious procession of Lord of Miracles from Peru. Sunday, November 4th, 2018, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Police extra duty. Number 13, approve request for use of city property requested by Gava Top 5 Beta, Buglow Park Pavilion and grassy area for picnic to promote team building. Sunday, September 23rd, 2018, 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The rain date is Sunday, September 30th, 2018, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. 14, authorized purchase by Police Department under New Jersey State Contract A79875M0002. Fastenal Facilities, MRO Lighting Products, Industrial Supplies and Tools from WW Granger Incorporated, doing business as Granger, for 2 mobile vehicle barriers not to exceed $152,500. Number 15, approve amendment of resolution R031821, reason to change the date to September 23rd, 2018. Approve request for use of city property requested by New Brunswick Cultural Center for the 3rd Annual Hub City Sounds Indo-American Festival, and first annual yoga festival, location Boyd Park and Amphitheater, date Sunday, September 23rd, 2018, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Park usage hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Police extra duty. Number 16, approve amendment of resolution R051841, reason additional amount of $607.30. Approve award of contract with George Dapper Incorporated, bus transportation for 2018 summer fund program, specification number 667-18P, amount $607.30. Approval of this change order will not constitute an increase of 20% or more of the amount of the original contract. Number 17, authorize tax collector to transfer overpayments on several tax and utility accounts. 18, authorized property lien for board up and security, 289 Seaman Street, Block 166, Lot 9, $659.88. Number 19, authorized property lien for board up security, 289 Seaman Street, Block 166, Lot 9, amount $2,922.67. Number 20, authorized property lien for board up and security, location 377 Lee Avenue, Block 339, Lot 1.01, amount $3,080.33. 21, authorized property lien for board up and security, location 85 Joyce Gilmer Avenue, Block 166, Lot 6, amount $550.60. 22, approve request for street closing requested by Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital Community Health, location Drift Street between Welton Street and New Street, for fitness and wellness event that will include launching of the RWJ Barnabas Wellness on Wheels Nutrition Educational Mobile Unit, Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018, 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Police extra duty. Number 23, authorized property lien for board up security, location 91 Seaman Street, Block 172, Lot 10, amount $2,684.67. For 24, authorized property lien for board up and security, 73 Weldon Street, Block 132, Lot 11, amount $3,153.27. 25, authorized professional service agreement to Garden State Veterinary Services for after-hours emergency veterinary services, Division of Animal Control, 12-month period commencing September 20th, 2018, and ending September 19th, 2019, not to exceed $5,000. Number 26, approve relaxation of the city noise ordinance requested by Ampwood Crane to perform a crane pickup at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital to set roofing material, Saturday, September 29th, 2018, alternate date Saturday, October 6th, 2018, time 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. 27, approve amendment resolution R-021832, change order number 5 with Suburban Consulting Engineers Incorporated for construction, inspection, and engineering services for the 2015 sanitary sewer system improvements, project phase 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. Specification number 899-15 RFP, amount $8,916.35. Number 28, authorized participation in a cooperative purchasing program with the water utility with by-board purchasing program. 29, approve award of contract with Top Line Construction Corporation for Joyce Gilmer Avenue roadway improvement, specification number 922-18, not to exceed $511,362.73. Number 30, approve award of contracts for furnish and deliver trees for fall tree planting program with Barbado Nursery Corporation for items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, L, and M, not to exceed $14,358, with Schichtel's Nursery Incorporated for items I and K, not to exceed $2,218, and with Sunset Creations Incorporated for item N, not to exceed $2,520, specification number 703-18P. 31, approve amendment resolution R-071821, reason additional amount of $9,773.76 for public works with B&W Construction Company of New Jersey for equipment and labor, not to exceed $9,773.76. Approval of this change order will constitute an increase of 20% or more of the original contract. 32, approve relaxation of the city noise ordinance requested by Sky High Directors and Equipment Incorporated. Reason, place a crane pick in the parking lot at 277 George Street to lift equipment to the roof, Saturday, September 29, 2018, alternate dates Saturdays, October 6 and 13, 2018, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. 33, approve request for use of city property requested by Alpha Gamma Delta for charity wiffle ball tournaments, Jubilee Park, Field 3, Sunday, October 14, 2018, Saturday, October 13, 2018 is the rain date, time 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. 34, approve execution of joint funding agreement with the United States Department of the Interior, United States Geological Survey for New Jersey Water Science Water Resources Investigations, not to exceed $16,900. 35, approve amendment of resolution R-081844, change order number 2 to AA Burns LLC, furnish and install additional 2 inches of concrete work for fitness stations at Joyce Gilmer Park, specification number 917-18R-A, amount $945.03. Approval of this change order will not constitute an increase of 20% or more of the amount of the original contract. 36, advising consent to Parks and Gardens Commission appointment, name Michelle Martel, expired December 31st, 2020, 3-year term. That's it, public discussion, dates to remember, etc. All right, the meeting is now to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Egan.
Here.
Councilmember Escobar.
Here.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Here.
Council President Fleming is absent.
Please be advised that notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act have been complied with and satisfied in that annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of time and place and conduct of all public meetings of the Municipal Council of the City of New Brunswick, has been filed with the City Clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance if able.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence, if you will, for our fantastic men and women in our armed forces, overseas and in the United States, especially those who have lost their lives, come back injured. Thank you. Have minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes?
Second.
Call.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes. Report of correspondence by the city clerk.
Yes. Item 1, a public notice from the Zoning Board of Adjustment of East Brunswick Township in regards to a public hearing being held on the application of Jasmina Hotels, LLC, on September 20th, 2018. Item 2, a letter from Unity Square members regarding the wage theft ordinance. The correspondence will be forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No public hearings. We have ordinances on second reading. Number 1, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 1016-210, Schedule 38, time limit parking areas in regards to Sedan Street. Does anyone from the public wish to say anything on the first one? Seeing none?
Move the ordinance?
Second.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes. Number 2, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.16, Stopping, Standing, or Parking, Section 1016-030, Schedule 26, No Parking Certain Hours, Alternate Parking Street Cleaning Program in regards to Hardenberg Street, High Street, and Division Street. Anyone from the public wish to, please, you have 5 minutes, one time up. State your name, please.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President, members of the council. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick resident, editor of New Brunswick Today, candidate for mayor of this great city. I'd just like to understand a little bit about what's changing here. What's the purpose of this ordinance?
Sue this for cleaning, but Mr. Valenti.
Please, the council, we have an alternate side street cleaning program for parking. These 3 streets, for whatever reason, were never codified. So we just realized that they weren't included, and we're just codifying them.
So there are signs posted, though?
Yes, there were signs posted. It should have been codified, but it was missed. Again, I don't look for these things, but when we encounter them, and then we try to correct them.
I understand. So presumably folks have been getting tickets for this, for being on the wrong side of the street?
I would not sure. I have no direct knowledge of that. It's possible.
We'll look at it.
Okay. I think that tickets that were issued that have not been adjudicated should be dismissed in this case. And just like to give a constructive suggestion to the city government. I think that This neighborhood in particular has a bad parking problem. The area, as you guys know, the area between Robert Wood and Rutgers is perhaps the most difficult area to find parking in New Brunswick, and alternate side parking essentially takes away half of the parking for, in this case, 1 hour each side of the street per week. So 2 different days, the streets that are already pretty much at capacity are now forced to operate at half capacity. And it creates problems. And at the end of the day, a lot of folks end up getting tickets and the street sweeper doesn't get to actually clean the street. And it's not exactly, a good solution. So my proposal would be that the city pull back the alternate side parking restrictions to, let's say, May 15th to September 1st. Presently, it's April to October. And if you just made that change, you would not do alternate side parking when Rutgers University is in session and when the parking demand is so great. So it's a constructive suggestion. I think that the residents of the 5th and 6th Ward would be better served if alternate side parking did not, and also the 2nd Ward, where I live and where the Douglas and Cook campuses are. I think that the city would be better off if alternate side parking was only in effect starting around the time that Rutgers graduates and in effect for the summer months, but then stop it in September because there's just not enough parking to accommodate all the cars that want to park there.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in public? Seeing none?
Second.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes. We have ordinances on first reading. Number 1, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.20, Handicap Parking, Section 10.20.010, Schedule 39, Parking Zone for Handicapped Persons, add 145 Troop Avenue, 307 Howard Street, and 45 Juliet Street.
Move the ordinance setting down October 3rd, 2018, same day to be advertised.
At 6:30 would be good.
6:30, what time is it?
Second.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes. Okay, number 2 has been pulled. Number 3, an ordinance to adjust the rates of compensation for school crossing guards in the City of New Brunswick.
Move the ordinance setting down October 3rd, 2018, 6:30 PM, same day to be advertised.
Second.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Fleming.
Crossing guard.
Oh, so you,
The first reading is crossing
I want
guard.
to make sure I understood. Yes.
yes, okay.
Number 4, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the City of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 10.12, Traffic Control Regulations, Section 10.12.160, Schedule 18, right turn on red light prohibited in regards to Stanford Street.
Move the ordinance setting down October 3rd, 2018, 6:30 PM, right here on Baird Street, same day to be advertised.
Second.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Fleming.
Yes.
Number 5, amend the management salary ordinance 2018 to 2020.
Move the ordinance setting down October 3rd, 2018, 6:30 PM, same day to be advertised.
Second.
Council Vice President Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Egan.
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council President Fleming.
Yes.
Let the record show that the President has arrived for the first
All
reading.
hail.
All hail.
All hail.
all yours.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. All right. We have resolutions 1 all the way up to 36. Now you can pull 38. Oh, now 8. Okay. Anybody like to speak on the resolutions? Please give your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the council. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick today, candidate for mayor. First one I'd like to ask about is number 6, the resolution. I guess this is to compensate PSE&G for information about the usage of electricity in the city to facilitate the terrific ordinance that was passed this summer. I guess what I want to learn is, how does PSE&G feel about this aggregation program?
Well, I can answer what the resolution actually does, but I don't know how PSE&G feels about it. Part of the process is that PSE&G is being requested to provide user information of all residential and non-residential electricity users within the city of New Brunswick. They obviously have that information. They possess it because they're our current supplier of the energy. How they feel about it, I don't know, nor does it really matter for purposes of this particular resolution. This is a step in the process to get our program going, and that's what the resolution authorizes the agreement. The agreement will provide for them to turn over the information and documentation, and there could be a fee up to $750. My understanding it's nominal.
Thank you much. Moving on, page 5, I see professional services agreement with Garden State Veterinary Services. Could I just hear a little bit about what prompted the city to engage this service and what their track record is, if that was researched?
Recommendation from the police department who deals with these after-hour emergency veterinary situations. I don't know what Garden State's track record is. I don't have any reason to believe it is anything less than appropriate or normal. But I did not have a chance to ask the PD if they had done any research on them as a vendor. I tend to believe we've used them before.
And just for the record, is there a representative of the police department here who could speak to that?
Yes. The reason we're using Garden State is closer to our new kennel than Newark. It's only for after-hours emergency vet services. As far as their track record, I don't know any negative issues with them. But I personally have not researched it, no.
Okay, I see it was recommended by Mr. Goldeski.
Yes, that's fine.
That is right there.
Yeah.
That is-
Oh, okay. So was any research done into the track record?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, well, I know that a lot of these, services end up, bringing about controversy and sometimes disgrace. So I would hope that before one is engaged, that their track record is researched, that, folks who are in the know about these kind of things are consulted. And so I'm just a little concerned that that didn't happen in this case, and I hope that it does happen right away. Last one is the final resolution. Just want to point out there's a typographical error in the address of this person being appointed to the Parks and Gardens Commission. And I guess if I could just hear from the council, if anybody knows this person or what their qualifications are to serve.
I don't know the person.
One, she's in the area of the second ward, so she's asked to be good.
We know that.
All that. And second of all, she was recommended by the Parks and Gardens Commission themselves, and the people that are on there. She has a terrific resume, and I haven't heard anything negative about her.
Okay, so the council was provided with their resume?
I don't know about everybody else, I just asked verbally different people.
Okay, so you haven't seen the resume, but you've heard that this
Correct.
person has a track record.
Correct.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Yes, Danielle Moore, 333 Somerset Street. I'm looking at number 29, cars Joyce Comer Avenue being improved. This is starting from Joyce Comer and Handy.
The project limits are from intersection of Patterson Street to Handy Street for Joyce Comer.
And so this is road work or new curbs, what's being done?
It's a complete road improvement project. There'll be, in some cases, we're upgrading our inlets to be eco-friendly. There's going to be a revisit and a redoing of all the handicap ramps. There's a significant amount of concrete curb and some sidewalk work as well, and ultimately the resurfacing of the roadway and then line striping.
And is the city paying all of this? My point is, while I know that when PSC&G does work where they're supposed to be responsible, is PSC&G helping Joyce Comer Avenue be helping the city?
This project was awarded to us in 2016 from the State Municipal Aid Grant Fund. At the time, we didn't know about the public service project. At this point, we're going to continue whether or not they help us or not. We will do our best to get their involvement, at least as relates to some of the roadway issues. But the roadway is in such a bad condition, even the work that public service does has not affected or worsened the roadway in itself. I mean, there's a lot of instances we have to raise manholes to get them to level, and that's a lot of the function of the poor condition of the roadway. But specifically, I don't see that the public service work has adversely affected it any worse than it had been already.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Move the resolution.
Second. Okay, who's second?
Pick one.
Second, okay. Council Vice President Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Egan,
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar,
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig,
Yes.
Council President Fleming.
Yes. We have items for discussion by council. I just want to congratulate the city and the Brunswick Jazz Fest. They put on an excellent, it was a great day. It was an excellent performance that they put on. It's always a good look for the city. I know a lot of cities that you can't even do that anymore. Like, you know, they used to have different festivals like that downtown. It just felt good to have everybody from the city down there, and so many people came out. It was just excellent. It was a great job by all. Yeah.
Need to excuse myself. Okay. Travel safe. Thank you.
Now, time.
Oh, if you'd like, yes, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who just joined my department. His name is Brandon Goldberg. Brandon, if you want to stand up, he's a city resident, lives across the street in Skyline Towers. Joined me as my department as an assistant business administrator. And the first assignment we gave him is to manage the, in addition to his administrative responsibilities, manage the business office of the water utility. Brandon comes to us from Middlesex Borough. He was the administrator there for 2 years, and we're happy to have him join us.
Those snow days are not an excuse for you.
Being late to work is not an option.
Anybody else? All right, now all right, now we'll move to public discussion. Anybody has something, please come to the microphone. If you have 5 minutes, please give your name and address for the record.
Yes, once again, Daniel Moore, 333 Somerset Street. Normally, I'm about safety, and normally I come with my things. I'm going to talk about today something that needs to be, and I hope it's immediately done. I know you have upgraded fire trucks, police officers, vehicles. I feel it's time to be upgraded with garbage trucks properly due to where in certain areas of high traffic, due to where I'm at, New Brunswick is really looking horrible in certain locations where you have city cans, how it smells so bad. And if you ever walk through the city to understand what I'm talking about, I meant garbage all over with from city cans. I'm not blaming the workers. The workers are busting their butt for this, but the thing is, due to where I see and I hear from the workers, come on, you have to give them more help. Do you really think that the record is correct where you're telling them how you go by, how many trucks by, because of the limit of the people? Believe me, half of these houses, do you really think it matches what you have on the record of how many people, how many garbage cans you're supposed to have? Well, I hope the city will also look into telling people to load their garbage correctly due to where this is from garbage, like I said, garbage day. Do you really expect, okay, garbage man, whatever, due to where they don't load their garbage cans correctly, do you feel that they should pick up every piece of paper? The job will never get done. So yes, they need more help. So like I said, plenty of pictures, like I said, city garbage cans. Not even just that, where I meant it looks horrible, these streets. So like I said, yes, please, I hope you really would look into it due to where, okay, someone's on vacation, one of the workers, okay, someone calls out. You do not have enough workers workers there. Where what, to have one worker working in 90 degrees temperature from I mean 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and to have that all done? No, I don't think that's right. Due to where, so I hope you will look into upgrading new garbage trucks or hiring more workers to help keep the city clean. Due to where, same thing with street sweeping. Due to where what, someone's out sick due to where you have 3 gentlemen with street cleaning, someone's out sick, what, the street doesn't get cleaned, and what, you still give out tickets? Like I said, please do look into that. Look at the pictures or take a walk around certain areas the same way you keep George Street clean due to where the parking authority, someone is down there from morning to afternoon. Please, I hope you will look into it with other streets also. And now I will get to...
Is there something wrong with the garbage truck itself?
For one thing, believe me, they smell horrible. like I said, due to where, yes, and like I said, how, no, I'm not talking about this from the garbage they pick up. I'm even talking about city cans, that they're never disinfected. What, does anyone go around to clean the city cans?
The garbage?
Yes, the city cans, yes. See, yeah, due to where I'm sure plenty of you do not walk a lot in the area to really see how they really smell so bad. So please, I hope you do look into it and think about the workers due to where they're working hard enough, and I hope you will look into getting more workers or more help for them. I do like to say thank you for fixing Joyce Comer immediately, the big hole that was on Joyce Comer. I appreciate you fixing it immediately. Thank you to make it safer for the buses mainly. And also, I'd like to thank the fire department for responding to Joyce Comer and Handy yesterday due to where you had a major situation with wires hanging where the cars could not pass through. I thank you for taking care of that. I thank for the raise with the crossing guards, but for a moment there, that's where Somerset and Lewis and Commercial and Sanford, I hope you can request to put double crossing guards on those corners due to where that is heavy flow with traffic and one crossing guard cannot handle that. I will provide pictures to you for you to show that. And then also due to where thank the police department and coaches, the other volunteers for the first high school game. But wow, would you please tell me why the most thing that wasn't enjoying with the game, why is the scoreboard out? Well, someone going to make sure that's we're working properly?
Yes, the board of ed.
Well, that was.
That would be our responsibility. I wasn't aware that it was not functioning. In what way was it malfunctioning? Didn't work at all?
It didn't work at all for the first high school game. That was last Friday, I believe.
Thank you.
So I hope you will look
Try and
in.
turn it on.
Something I've been there before. You know, sometimes you don't know, sometimes it's not just off. In different places, you have a connection.
No, due to where they made an announcement, sorry, the scoreboard is not working at all due to where they made the announcement.
Yes, that could be a number of reasons, okay.
Okay, we'll look into that, that shouldn't be the case. We'll look into it.
Okay, and then that's when I would go. That's where anyone from the city or Board of Education inspector make inspected all the buses to make sure due to where, with the seatbelts correctly.
Say that one more time.
Anyone from the city inspector or Board of Education inspector checked that the seatbelts are properly upgraded, like the governor said for New Jersey?
I'm not sure that.
From our operation, we do not contract with the busing company. Maybe that question should be asked of the Board of Ed, but I don't know that anyone in our operation has been going on buses and checking seatbelts.
And I know those buses obviously have to be inspected and have to be approved. And I know some of the schools have the emergency drills, so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening once again, Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick Today, and candidate for mayor. I'd like to just continue, we had a good conversation at the last meeting about some of the great public events the city puts on, and I just wanted to clarify the Mercado Esperanza. It's coming up this weekend, I believe. That too is a city-sponsored event, correct?
Is that a city sponsor?
I don't think so.
It's a private,
You know, it's a not-for-profit asking for use of our parks, and we accommodate them. I'm not sure what our level of sponsorship is. I don't think it's much, if anything.
Understood. The council's approved it by way of
Council's
resolution,
approved it.
right?
Parks
Approved the use of the
Department
park.
will
We
prepare
approved the
those.
use of the park, and that's-
I'm sorry?
We approved the use of the park.
Yes, and the Parks Department will, of course, prepare the space for them and clean up afterwards, but I wouldn't call it a joint project.
Okay.
Or
And
co-sponsored by us.
And so where I'm going with this is the same as last time. It's acceptable and appropriate for candidates to campaign there, to pass out literature, register voters. Is that fair to say?
Sure. But I would think those two, if it gets out of hand or something, the people that are running that, if they want to have a big celebration kind of thing and something's being interfered with, I think they certainly have the right to say, listen, no more please, or something like that. But I don't think it's a God-given 100% absolute right.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily think it's God-given either, but I do think that in this country, public park, event that's open to the general public, it's, fair and appropriate for campaigns to register voters.
I think we just said that it's a private event in a public area, so I would assume that if the private event staff okays wherever you're looking to do that.
I would agree with Councilwoman Cora Ludwig. If I decide to ask the council to use the park to get married, and I'm in a public park, and I'm holding a private ceremony, I don't think I would want...
You don't want Charlie for mayor there?
I don't know if I want anybody handing out whatever during my usage of the park. I mean, it's a public park, but I have exclusivity with respect to the permission, the authorization, and if they control the particular areas. So I don't think you're going to get the council to give you a definitive answer on that, Mr. Cradaville. Maybe you should speak to those who are sponsoring the event.
Okay, I just, think there's a difference between a wedding, which would be an event that's kind of invite only, and an event like the Mercado Esperanza, which is advertised widely, open to the general public. It's my understanding no one is banned or barred from attending that event, and it is in a public park, and again, with the permission of the city council. So I don't see why anybody wouldn't want voter registration to be taking place, or any candidate to be able to, distribute literature to those who are willing to accept it. No one's forced to accept literature. So I just want to understand the council's position as to whether or not anyone is barred from doing that, or can be barred from doing that.
Well, my position is that if people hosting the event bar you, that you cannot do it.
Okay. Well,
Because it is a private event, although it's on public space.
okay, so the council believes this is a
That's-
private?
No,
Yeah.
not the council, that's my opinion.
Okay. So anybody else? Councilman Egan, would you be campaigning there?
While we campaigning there? Maybe. The second thing is, I kind of believe what Ms. Ludwig thing and Mr. Shammy said last time. I mean, I'm sure if you're around and you want to go up there, but, you know, some people don't want politics at their event, maybe they don't want it. So I would think it's kind of up to the event organizer.
Just talk to them.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some harmony there, I'm sure it won't be a big deal, give it a shot, but it's up to the people. I mean,
That's all I
I
was
would say it's up to the event organizer, people doing it. Some people don't want politics at the event. Maybe they just want to go have a good time and barbecue and talk about something else. Maybe they're sick of politics.
I certainly want to respect the event
All right,
organizers.
that's all. I said the best thing. That's the best thing you just said. Respect the event organizer. There you go. I think that way everybody's happy.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, and do want to follow up on the raise for the crossing guards. I understand this is an ordinance that was passed tonight on first reading. I do want to, I guess, clarify or correct the record. At the last meeting, it was said the raise would be a 7% raise. But it was also said that that would bring the starting salary up to $13.90. My calculations show that a 7% raise would not bring it there, but it would bring it to a lower number. What is the actual raise going to be?
Want me to answer that? The average is 7%. It takes the starting salary, the lower, the rate of pay for years 1 through 2 takes it up to $13.50. We actually rounded up. I think the 7% increase would have been $13.37 or something. We rounded to $13.50.
Okay, so it's a dollar raise for the starting salary.
7% plus, yeah.
Right.
I wasn't necessarily adding a dollar, but I was trying to add 7% to each of those different rates of pay.
Okay, thank you. I do think that it's a good move, as you've heard from me and Ms. Moore many times, to increase those rates, and I think that the city can do more to increase the wages of its lowest paid workers. That would be a good thing to do. I was surprised to find out so many people make the minimum wage, $8.60 on the city payroll, and I think that the minimum wage in this state is way too low, and the city should set a good example by raising those wages too. I hope that we can get everyone up to a higher rate very soon. And so just to be clear, that ordinance will be available from the city clerk's office starting tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Thank you, I'll check it out then.
Can I just respond to your previous comment? There is no one who's employed full-time who earns less than $15 an hour in this organization. Yes, there are some people who in seasonal titles and some kids who are teenagers in high school working part-time assignments in YSS or the Parks Department or even the library who do earn minimum wage, but there is no one full-time in this organization earning less than 15, probably not earning less than $16 an hour. So I appreciate your comments, but I just think that needs to be said, what I just made, the comment I just made, that the full-time employees in this organization earn in excess of 16. They earn health benefits, they earn benefit time off, they are protected by a pension, disability benefits. It's we're not a bad employer.
Appreciate that response, thank you. And I do think that, the part-time workers deserve a raise. Last thing I want to bring up, I know some folks around the city have received a letter from the mayor regarding the Community Energy Aggregation Program. I have copies of it for the council, and I guess an extra one for Mr. Shannon and Mr. Laughlin. So I was, I was one of the folks who signed the petition. I was a little disappointed I didn't get my letter from the mayor, but I do see at the bottom here that it says paid for by friends of Mayor Jim Cahill, which tells me that this is a piece of political literature, campaign literature, so to speak. And I'm just curious about the use of the City of New Brunswick seal that we see in front of your table there. Is it appropriate for the mayor to use the city seal on his political campaign literature?
Well, he's the mayor of the city of New Brunswick. He's entitled to use the seal. And I think the reason there's the paid for line on the bottom is when even an elected official is in a cycle 90 days before an election, there's something called the 90-day rule. So any communication with constituents that may be deemed political in nature has to be disclosed, or this particular disclaimer paid for by, in this particular case, Friends of Mayor Jim Cahill, has to be there, so it's not looked at as a governmental communication necessarily, but it could be considered a political communication. But the seal of the city of New Brunswick is something that the mayor, as the mayor of the city of New Brunswick, can use on his letter. I don't see any problem with it.
Okay, so to be clear, the paid for by line is accurate. It was paid for by.
I've never seen the actual letter until you
I
just
never
presented
received
it
one.
here. I didn't get one, I guess because I didn't sign the petition, but it has the paid for by Friends of Jim Cahill, so that would be my interpretation, that that's who paid for the letter, paid for the postage, and that due to the fact we're in an election cycle and we're 90 days before an election day, the law does require any communication that could be deemed political or influential in nature to be paid for or disclosed with respect to a political organization, and not use government funds for this purpose.
Thank you for the explanation. Have a great day.
Thank you. Anybody else?
It's so tall. I can put it up, down.
Take it with you.
I'm very sure. Good evening, everybody. I come on this place for the first time. We have a big trouble in this city.
Did you, I'm sorry.
My name is Yolanda Hernandez.
And address for the record.
Excuse me?
Address for the record.
My address, I live in 24 Louis Street, New Brunswick, New Jersey, for 13 years. My son, he started school last year, and the Lincoln School Elementary is on 66 Boulder Street. He started there kindergarten. And my first question is, why they don't have air conditioning here? And they said, I asked to the Miss Cossey, is the superintendent, and she gave me answer, and the answer is the building is so old, and this building is not support to the air conditioning here. So I'm waiting for 1 year, and the summer, my son tell me, Mommy, the classroom is so hard. I have headache, I have fever, like maybe four or five times he tell me. I feel so bad because he's my son and he have like only 6 years old. I'm thinking, what can I do for this problem? I tell a lot of friends, moms and dads, what do you do when this happen? And then they told me same answer. Oh, the Mr. Intendant they say she can fix the problem because the building is old. So now September 6th, they start school. I go to drop my son. I'm happy, he's happy because he go back. But the jeans is maybe more than 100 grade. And everybody feel happy. So after 10 minutes, nobody happy. I say, oh, it's hard, it's hard, and everybody cry. I say, I'm thinking for myself, we need to stop this thing. And then I start to look for information. How many years the city have this problem? And when I know, I'm gonna cry. It's for a long time. Long time. And that day, September 6, 9:40, I go to the border, Education Board, and 268 Baldwin Street. I try to speak with the boss, and he's so busy. And only one more man come with me, 2 people. And the secretary said, he's so busy, but I hope so. I tell him. I said, please, you need to tell him. And then yesterday, I go to the board education meeting. I explained same story. Please, the community need help. The kids, they need to have better school. They need it. They need it. I explained to them. It's like a lot of people in front. And when I finish, the president said, thank you for the comment. It's not comment. We needed to do something. We need to work together, and we need to change this happen. Because the problem is 40 years ago, or 14 years ago. And it's not only one school had the problem, it's 3 schools. Roosevelt and Lincoln School, and Livingston School. I say, why nobody fixing? Why nobody help? They say, the borough don't have money. I said, the borough don't have money? What? We need to do project, new project. Oh, but you know what? They need millions and millions and millions and millions dollars. But we need to change it. We need to change it. Thank you for listening. And I have enjoyed, understand that happen. It's so bad.
I hope that you understand that. I don't know if you researched it any further, but it's not just our area. Any schools that throughout the state are like that. I mean, there are schools like that in Warren Township and Watchung that are in exclusive areas. And when older schools are built, it costs a lot to retrofit them into air conditioning. And I believe we have laws in place that when it gets to a certain degree,
When the heat
then they
index
get
gets
school
above,
out.
when the heat index
Right.
goes above 90 something, I'm in school all day, and we're miserable. You know, it was like the first 2 days of school. I'm in a wing, my wing was built in 1923. And the only thing I can tell the parents, even last week I had back to school night, and we're in there, it's hot, it was hot. And I told the parents, I said, look, I said, you guys see this? The only thing I can tell them is like, you know, if any of your kids have a medical issue, you can get a accommodation, a 504 accommodation. You know, I'm not even selfish about it, because if you get a 504 accommodation, they had to retrofit the room with like a mobile air units. But it is very expensive, and funding comes down from the taxes and from the state. You know, we've already had it where the state, you know, a lot of the poor schools, the average school districts had to be funded where people got new buildings and stuff. And we saw what happened in Red Shaw. You know, we tore Red Shaw down, I forgot what year, and it took a long time just to get that funding because they ran out of money. So it's a problem all across the state.
10 years.
Right. It's a problem all across the state.
It's not just here, so.
Well, I
I don't know if you've looked into it.
I can assure you that if they're decent, and I think they are decent educators, that they're working on fans, they're working on water, they're working on making sure that the kids are not running, getting sweaty and stuff like that. So there are some ways to at least help.
They're trying to take care of it the best they can.
Okay, so we need to wait. We need to wait. But 40 years? No. We
There are
need,
schools a lot older,
Like-
45, obviously.
I know it's a big, it's,
20 years ago.
it's a big problem, but I think we need to work together, community and borough and everyone, because the problem is for It's not for the school. It's for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Bring it.
Yeah, sorry.
Good night, Carlos Ramirez, reporter with New Brunswick today. I think I want to back up the mother on her speech she gave, especially with schools that are bad here. I've attended both of those schools, which they have given complaints from. And as you were mentioning, it's not just New Brunswick that has issues, and I think not only the community members, but also people in City Hall and other political parties get involved to make changes. I think we can improve the well-being of the students as well as teachers who are teaching these kids under certain weathers. And I think if the school really cares, they would start working to make changes, and especially if it's necessary to cut fundings from certain programs they currently have to get some type of temporary or long-term term solution to get air conditioners inside.
You said cut funding from such as?
I'm not sure if there are other programs they're currently having, but if there's other programs that are out there that they don't see it, that it's in any way, what I'm trying to say is that there's no actual solutions to trying to get students to get money to bring in, whether we can say generators to power up AC air conditioners or fans or something like that. If there's some type of program going on that it's not really a necessity for the students to have to cut money from that to go into something else.
But, I mean, you can't make people happy. I mean, I don't think people are happy cutting anywhere, you know. A lot of people need books now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like, on a level, just as an educator, on a level with air conditioning, it's probably somewhere down. It's not the top priority right now. You know, you got districts that need books, you need districts that need different supplies and different things, and you can cut from different programs which are locally funded, but it's not going to fund an air conditioning unit. The air conditioning unit, I know, is a multi-million-dollar program. My school did a multi-million-dollar program where they did a referendum, and they had to agree to a certain tax hike. They had to agree to a certain tax hike. Ours was just to get windows, to upgrade our windows in our building. And that was multi-million dollars right there.
Well, I think that there's many parents, especially from New Brunswick students, that their parents work in construction, landscaping, and other businesses such as engineering, electricians. And I think that if the community really wants to improve the city, I think everybody can get together in a meeting and talk and coordinate. I think many of the businesses or many parents would be willing to donate or try to work with the city as well as Board of Education to get some sort of solution. But I think it's something important that it should be looked into at what we can get done, because this problem has been going on for many years. I remember attending Roosevelt School for many years, and the principal was always fine in his office. I don't think he teaches anymore in the Board of New Brunswick, but he moved. But his office was very nice, neatly, had plans. He was always cool with his air conditioner in his office. And I think if the students have to go through that and heat, the superintendents and the principals in those schools should set the example and take off their air conditioners and suffer just like the kids are. And aside from that, does the New Brunswick Police Department hire any handicapped officers?
Any?
Handicapped officers.
Don't believe we hire any handicap officers. There's certain requirements that have to be met in order to do the job. I don't know what you mean by handicap as far as how.
Right. On August 17, this year I had an officer respond to a location where I had installed some security cameras, and I wanted to file a police report. That officer refused to file that police report despite Captain Miller telling me that I am legally, I have the permission of legally to file a police report. That officer refused to file a police report, and I had to wait for an adult to arrive at the location to file a police report. And he did not get out of his vehicle as I requested him to, and he stayed inside his car, and he also filed the police report wrongfully.
What does that have to do with handicap? I'm a little confused.
Why didn't the officer get off his car?
He told you
If
that
he
you're going to
had
file a
no-
report. I'm just going by what you said. He said he couldn't file a report, you were underage, so he had to wait for someone to get there, and he wasn't getting out of his car, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, so if he's
So
not
where does handicap come
handicapped, if he's not handicapped, why can't he just get out of his car for a few minutes and file a police report?
I'm not familiar with the situation. If Captain Miller is familiar with it, you could probably ask your question. If he has a date, time, officer's name, I can forward it to Captain Miller and he can look into it.
Yeah, I'll appreciate that, because why didn't the officer get out of his car?
First time. I can't answer for the officer, but you know the.
If he has a date, time, officer's name, I can forward it.
That's the thing, I've gotten tired of filing many complaints, even with internal affairs. So this day, his daughter never get a response back from other issues or complaints I've filed.
Can you speak to him after the meeting? Just-
Sure, if he has the information, I can forward it. I don't know.
Well, I have it, all right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing none?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Council Vice President Anderson,
Yeah.
Councilmember Egan,
Yes.
Councilmember Escobar.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig,
Yes.
Council President Fleming.
Yes.